My name is Dr. Peters, and this is the fall edition of the online section of Neural Basis of Behavior. Welcome. Looking forward to spending time with you over the next 16 weeks and developing some foundation skills and learning about neurobiology and how it relates to behavior. I'm going to walk you through some of the details about your syllabus, and I'm also going to hope to give you some information that'll help you be successful this semester. On this first slide here, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my name. Obviously, I'm Dr. Peters. If you send me an email, please address me as Professor or Dr. Peters. My email address that I prefer is tpeters@wusl.edu. I also gave you my cell phone number here, which is 314-583-7995. This is for emergencies really only. I respond to all emails within 24 to 48 hours, if through Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I do also respond on the weekends, but my time on that might be a little bit more intermittent based on my schedule. The required materials for this course, the textbook that you're actually going to be using is this one right here. This one is the Introduction to Brain and Behavior. This is Kolb et al. This was produced in 2016. I'm currently working with the staff on sort of helping edit the next version of this. This is the 5th edition. You'll be using the electronic version of this textbook, and you will require the use of the Launchpad, which is an online assessment tool. We will use this excessively in class, so make sure that we have that available. You can see that there's a link here on your screen for the bookstore, and this tells you a little bit more about where you can purchase it. If they ask you, the SKU number for the book is 018-379-710. I will also be posting articles and reviews and other papers online for our discussions in our Blackboard page. By the way, this is a picture of me in Costa Rica, and I'll be talking about some of my travels this semester. The course is designed with basically 15 chapters that we're going to cover in your textbook. We'll start out by looking at building blocks of neurons and glial cells, the key cells that we'll be talking about. We'll talk about how they work, where they're located, the different types there might be. We'll be also looking at basically action potentials, gradient potentials, and other forms of electrical chemical signaling that you find in neurons and also in glial cells. We'll look at how brains are organized, how neurons are organized into networks, how they function, and specifically how drugs and hormones influence their behavior through neurons. We will also look at a number of the special senses and general senses. And if you've been in one of my classes prior, we will not overlap too much in this area. We will also look at ways that behavior relates to how we emote, think, remember, or learn. And then I also wanted to make sure that it's sort of a late in the game, but we will encourage that students have had General Biology 1 and hopefully 2, definitely 1. We will be covering a number of concepts that you would see in cell classes or general biology classes, some anatomy and physiology, and I really won't be offering you the foundations for those, so you'll have to do some additional work if you're not up on those areas. Grading points for this course are as follows. There are 15 Launchpad assignments. I will walk you through that on the first one, and then each week you'll have 1 or 2 due. They're worth 20 points each for 300 points out of the total 800 points in the class. So it's very important that you follow the schedule, and that is to get these done within the time frame allowed. I will try to get these up. The first week it'll just be the first one up, but in future weeks I'll try to get out maybe 2 weeks ahead of that. So you'll have maybe 2 weeks to work on if you want to work ahead. There are 5 discussion boards. We will start out this week with one that's not worth points, just to kind of introduce yourself to the class. learn a little bit about other students. But when we do the discussion boards, these are primarily for me to teach you a little bit more about some of the primary literature and areas that aren't covered in our textbook necessarily. You will be working on a project this semester, which is a final team project. There's information that I'll share with you a little bit later on in this presentation. It's worth 200 or a quarter of the points in the class. And then you'll also have 2 timed online tests, a midterm and a final, about a week or 2 weeks prior to each of those exams. I'll give you a little bit more information, but they will primarily come from the Launchpad assignments and also the PowerPoints that I'll be posting online. If you want to know a little bit more about how I will use grading scales to determine whether you get an A+, an A, or an A-, B+, B, or B-, and so on and so forth, those are located in your syllabus, and I hope that you have a chance to look at them. The course has a number of assessment areas. As I indicated to you, we will do Launchpad assignments. These are kind of like watching videos, maybe doing interactive tutorials, short questions, and you'll see they're very interactive and very active. They're very interesting. I think you'll like these a lot, and they tie into your book. Also, we will do primary literature discussion boards. I will post a paper or papers, and you will then read those and post your comments online, and then you will always be required to post comments to 2 other students' comments. I will put a final project online for you guys. This final project, we'll have a chance to look at case studies in the earlier part of the semester so you can see how they work, how they can be used, and then you're going to have a unique ability to write one of these in the second half of the semester. This is probably one of the best and most favorite parts of the course, for me at least, and I think you'll see this as well. And so you'll see this in the schedule. I'll talk more about this in a minute. And then again, your midterm and final online exams, they're open book and open note. However, they are timed, and you will have to sort of sit down and start and finish the exam all in one time. So again, I will give you the time for these. You'll have a few days to take them, but you will have to do them within that time frame, and no late assignments will be accepted. Now, if I don't mention it, all assignments will be due on Mondays by noon. This gives you the long weekend to get them done. There will be no exceptions on getting these done. The only day that will not have a Monday at noon time due date is the one that's on September 4th, and this is due to Labor Day. If you do turn in late assignments, I may not accept them if it's repeated late assignments. Some assignments have to be turned in by the date that's required because of the fact that I have to get these grades turned into the college. As far as information for your supported browsers, tech support, and etiquette, the best place that you can find this is in your syllabus, but just as an overview, Blackboard works best in Mozilla Firefox. You have an ability to check your browser to see if it's supported well enough. And that's located in the syllabus as well. It's encouraged that you have the most recent version of Java so that you can work well with Blackboard. If you have any questions with regards to Blackboard, you can send them to the email address located on the screen here, or you can call 935-8200. Our netiquette or our etiquette online is that you should watch how you post in discussions and stay professional in all your posts. Use punctuations, don't write text formats, never use all caps. And remember to look over your post before you upload it. Make sure that it's what you want to say. And remember about our diversity in class. Don't be discouraging or disparaging of any other student in class. Keep them upbeat and keep them on a professional level. No profanity is allowed in your posts. As far as student attendance and academic integrity, this is not a self-paced course. I can't say this anymore. It's emphatic. It's very important. Even though it's an online course, you will have due dates, and you must adhere to those due dates and turn your work in on time. I will take bi-weekly attendance using Blackboard logins. This simply means that you have to log into Blackboard and check the announcements that are on there. You can also download the app for Blackboard, and if you do this, you'll get the app, you'll get the updates but it's still important for you to log in so I see that you're looking at the information that's online. If you do not do this over time, I'll reach out to you, or if you're not responding to my email addresses, I will also try to reach out to you. It's important that you're using your woosel.edu email because I don't have personal emails and I will not be sending emails to your personal emails. It's important that you use your Woosel email. As far as academic integrity, this is a project that you'll be doing the first week. You'll have to log into your Blackboard account. On the left side, you'll see that there's a link for academic integrity. Basically go through that series of pages, and then this will give you the points that you need for the class. It's important that you're aware of your responsibility as a student, and so you must get this done. This is one of your first week's assignments. The academic support and accommodations, Cornerstone, the Writing Center, Arts and Sciences Computing, the library, and then any student accommodations. These are all greatly outlined in your syllabus. If you have any questions relating to any of these items, please send me an email or reach out to me. We have a lot of resources here available for you as a student. I will cover some of these in a little bit more detail as we move into the semester, but Cornerstone is where you'd go if you have any need for student accommodations. Again, there's a lot more information in the online syllabus, which allows you to give a little bit more on what you need to do. It's also important to note that this is an inclusive learning environment. I also adhere to the policy for preferred names, and I am very observant of the accommodations based on sexual assault. There's a phone number here for you to call, and it is a confidential line if you have any concerns or if this relates to you. Bias reporting is also detailed in your syllabus as well. If you have any questions, again, reach out to me, tpeters at woosel.edu. The general tips for success in this online are outlined in your notes, actually in your syllabus, and I like these a lot. My first one is to get started. Remember that this is an online course. It begins day one. As soon as I put this online, it's important for you to log in and get working. Print your syllabus. Become oriented to where you find information for your online classes. And get ready and go. Stay organized. Bookmark where your websites are. Where's Blackboard? Where's your online dictionary? How do you reach out to your professor? Set up a binder or folder or a thumb drive and save your materials to that thumb drive and back them up frequently. Interact with other students in the class. We'll mostly be doing these through our 5 Blackboards, but as you get to know some of the students, you might want to reach out to them and have connections to more students. I can certainly be that person that sort of connects you to those other students. Visit me by sending me emails and communicating as often as possible. Later in the semester, we'll have an opportunity for students to meet with me on something called Zoom. Zoom is an offline, free sort of way for us to collaborate, where you'll actually be in a phone call with me, and you'll be able to see me online and ask questions directly. It's very important that you keep up with the reading. I'm not going to say which pages to read because it's all important in each chapter. I'm not one of those that takes tiny little details in a chapter and writes test questions on it, but it's important that you keep up with the reading. The chapters aren't that long. Don't get caught behind on this. It is also important that some of the work is offline, so you might have to turn the computer off every once in a while, like reading your book, or maybe just sitting down and studying some flashcards of key vocabulary that you need. Do not procrastinate. This class is not self-paced, and so set up a schedule and check off what you get done each week. Don't wait till the last minute. It's important that you don't try to do these the night before they're due. It's going to be tempting, but I won't always be available to help you if you get in a bind on a Sunday night or a Monday morning. I do have other teaching responsibilities. And then if you get kind of to a place in the semester where it just seems overwhelming, just hang in there. This is maybe your first online class, and I will help you make this a success. So just reach out to me when you need help. As far as guidelines for your discussion forums, always write in the subject line to whom your message is addressed. Be sure to always end your discussion post with your name. And before posting, please read over your entire assignment. Note grammar, spelling, use of vocabulary. Make sure it's what you want to put there. And then participate in discussion boards over several days. Don't just do one and done. Post and then respond to at least 2 other posts. You may not be able to do that all in the first time you look online. So keep checking in because you're going to see that the responses and posts will change. And I want you to learn from what other people are posting as much as what you're posting. And remember to have fun because what we're doing here is learning and trying to be immersive with other students at the same time. This shows you an overview of what's in your syllabus. This is a big picture of what we're going to be doing each week and the due dates. Note that as you see on the screen here, the first week we're going to do chapter 1. We'll do some class introductions. You'll have a mini intro discussion post. You'll have to do the academic integrity and then the student information worksheet, and your Launchpad chapter 1 will be due. Okay, they're always going to be due by 9 a.m. The Launchpads are always due by 9 a.m. And I'll walk you through this each week. In an announcement, I will tell you exactly what is loaded and what you need to do in the next 7 days. In about 2 weeks, I will now then start working so that you'll always have 2 weeks ahead to work. But in the first couple of weeks, we're going to kind of keep it light so that we can kind of ease into the course a little bit more. Okay? Also, I want to note that I use green here to note the discussion boards. The yellow over here was just to tell you this is not a Monday, it's actually a Tuesday. Because of Labor Day, your first projects will be due on a Tuesday. Okay. Also note that in blue down here is your midterm. Your midterm will be between October 8th and October 12th, and it will be due by the 12th at noon. I'll tell you a little bit more about this later on. They will be timed, and it will cover chapters 1 through 7 materials. It's very important that you set a time aside, about 2 hours you need to set aside. There'll be short answer, multiple choice, and short essay questions. And during that time, you will be posting this. You will not be able to stop it and then restart it. Once you sit down, you will be timed to take that exam within that 2 hours. Okay? So please make sure you put that time aside, and you'll have only one time at this. You can't come back and start over again. Okay? Then also you'll note here there's a fall break for the October 13th through the 16th. This is a faculty professional development time. So I won't be ready during this time. I'm going to be in meetings and also off campus and on campus. So it won't always be super easy to reach me. So I've kind of slowed down the work effort during this time so that we can kind of move on to new subject matter, but you will not have big things due during this time. The second half of the semester will be a separate exam, so it's not a comprehensive exam. And you can see all, again, the chapters that we'll be covering. There's Thanksgiving holiday here on November the 19th. This syllabus might change based on sort of week-to-week work or feedback from the students or just my general need. You'll also note that we start our final project the week of the 29th, October the 29th, and then you'll be assigned a team. We'll talk more about this as we kind of proceed. You'll have your last discussion board the week of November the 5th, and then we'll work towards wrapping the semester up in your final exam, which is a timed test over chapters 8 through 15. You must complete this by December 14th at noon. If you need to take this a little earlier, I think some of you have already contacted me. We can certainly arrange to have that. Your final projects will be due that week of December the 10th. But again, these will all be up probably by Thanksgiving, so you'll be able to finish these ahead if needed. So I'm looking forward to having you in the semester. And if you have any questions, you can certainly always email me. And I look forward to posting more information and talking to you soon. Thanks for being a part of the class.